Hello once again, everybody. We're reporting from the Conservation, Tillage, and Technology Conference at Ohio Northern University, and we have the distinct pleasure talking with Sakthi Kumaran from Central State University. Sakthi, tell us what your title is at Central State.
I'm an associate professor of soil sciences and agronomy at Central State University.
And you were here at the Conservation, Tillage, and Technology Conference to talk a little bit about some of the research that you've been doing. Can you fill us in on all of that?
Yeah, I'm here to talk about soil health testing. The topic is why your soil's test may not look like your neighbor's, right? But my research program is focused on two aspects, soil health and water quality. I have several projects in partnership with Ohio State and other institutions across the country. We're looking at the impact of the different regenerative practices on soil health and water quality. I also have a water quality project working with the Department of Energy looking at nitrate leaching in southwestern Ohio watersheds.
So you're saying that what you do with your own research is sort of a personalized thing. Don't do what your neighbor does because it might not be the right thing.
Yeah, so because soils are so unique, we have a tendency to compare our test scores with our neighbors' test scores. That may not work. That's a flawed agronomic approach. So you have to look at the uniqueness of the soils, and you have to measure the test results or track the progress of your test results using your own soil as the benchmark. So that's what I'm trying to communicate later this afternoon to the audience that I'll be speaking to.
Well, with the research that you've already done, what are you finding out?
Yeah, so right now on southwestern Ohio watersheds, we're focused on 4 watersheds. We have the Jackson Creek Mad River watershed, Mud Run River watershed, and the couple of other watersheds that are adjacent to them. We're trying to model the movement of nitrate into groundwater and how that changes with precipitation. We are in the early stages of modeling that, and so we will be also doing a lot of monitoring, on-site monitoring. We'll be collecting water samples from surface waters and also groundwaters, and trying to recruit partners for that project. So we're still in the early stages. I don't have the results to share right now, but we should have those results coming out in the next couple of years.
Well, I would think just to start with, it would be a very difficult kind of research because in any watershed you have various soil types.
Absolutely. That's if you look at Ohio, I've always said this, we have nearly about over 400 soil types. For an average onlooker, when we're driving past a field or farm or a few farms, they may all look very similar, but underneath your feet, there's so much variability. And that's one of the reasons even the soil test results that we receive from the lab after we send our soil samples to be tested, they may not meet our expectations, or they may not match what our peers' farms looks like. So it's really important to understand the diversity of soils that we have, and then whatever research that we're doing to understand how the different soil ecosystems are responding to the best management practices or regenerative practices that we're promoting is crucial going forward. Right?
I suppose that the more participation that you have from farmers, the better your results of your research.
That is absolutely right, because the work that we do in the lab is under controlled environment, and all of the findings that we come up with in the lab may not be easily transferable to on-farm locations, and there's so much complexity involved. So, and that's why I think partnering with farmers in the state of Ohio and other states that we're working on is crucial. For example, the From the Ground Up project, which is funded by USDA, United States Department of Agriculture. Ohio State University is the lead. Doug Jackson Smith is the lead PI for that project. We have other institutions partnering with us on that. We have Lincoln University in Missouri. We have University of Missouri researchers working on that. The key aspect of that work is the farmer participation, and that's why it's called the From the Ground Up. So in Ohio, we have about 5 clusters, and each cluster is led by a farmer, and we're looking at different practices in each cluster, and the farmers have recruited their own peers to be part of that cluster, and we nearly have about 35 farms in Ohio where we're looking at the impact of regenerative practices on soil health metrics. Yeah.
Okay, another question. Is it easy to get the cooperation from the farmer base?
I would say yes and no. Yes, in the sense I think farmers are open and they're willing to learn and work with us. But because of the the challenges that we have between the researchers and the farmers, what we have in our mind, what they have in their mind when it comes to how the project should go, may not align that easily, and that might become a challenge. But through this project, and that's why it's a ground-up project, meaning we want the farmers to take the lead on the project design, and they tell us like what they're interested in looking at, and we come alongside of them in the process of finding the answers to the questions that they already have. So over the years, I think we've gotten better. But it's always a challenge when you have two sets of groups of people, having their own objectives and, questions that they're trying to answer. Researchers, for me, I may have something that is very siloed that may not be appealing to the farmers, but farmers have their own questions, So we're trying our best, but I think this project, that I'm part of, I'm really thankful that I'm part of that project because, farmers are the leaders on that work.
Thanks for being with us. We appreciate it very much. I know your time is valuable, and thanks for participating with the show today.
Thanks for having me on the show. Thanks, Gary.
And stay with us. We'll be back with more In Ohio Country today.